What's going on, family? We back.
We back.
It's your boys, Pizza Push, Sports
Sports
Talk
Talk
Radio.
Radio.
Let's
Hey,
go.
Happy New Year's, everybody.
Merry Christmas, and hope that everybody enjoyed, the time with their family. Enjoyed their loved ones. Hold them close, keep them tight. You never know when it's your time, so you gotta stay locked in.
Locked in. Pitts and Push want to wish you and your family a prosperous, beautiful 2024.
And listen, from there we're gonna jump right into it, right? Because like last Thursday, this is something that we're starting new, and it's gonna be our own spin of the still it takes, still is what's going on back home in the 412. Even though we in the DMV, we still keep it tight when it comes from back home. We Pittsburgh
Absolutely.
till we die. So we're gonna bring our guests from backstage and have us join us, so we can go ahead and jump into tonight's conversation. Fellas,
What up?
Fellas, what's up?
What
Welcome to
happened?
the show, y'all.
what it do?
What's
Can y'all
up?
hear
Y'all,
me?
What up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Don't
yeah.
don't don't get starstruck now. Don't get shy now. Don't everybody go quiet at the same time. We live
Nah,
now,
baby.
baby. Can't go
Yeah.
quiet now.
Let's go.
Hey, we got a big game coming up.
Yes, sir.
We got a major game coming up. We
Sir.
need a couple things to happen, but we need to win this game for sure, man. How y'all feeling about this week, y'all?
I feel great. I do. I feel great. We get Minka back too. I feel great.
Man,
Titus,
I feel great because they sitting all they starters. And Lamar Jackson ain't playing. I'm loving it.
what's
Hmm.
your thoughts, Sean?
I don't know. For some reason, I feel like it's gonna be close, man. It's
I
all.
do too.
Yeah.
It's always close. It's the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah. Yeah.
It don't right. It
That
wouldn't be
that
right if it wasn't that way.
And
that too, bro. But Huntley kills us too, man, on the low every time he starts and he plays us, man. He gives us a little bit of problems, man. I don't know if it's because we don't see him enough or what, but he definitely comes in and does his thing when he plays us. I feel like we need to have a stout game, man.
So before we deep dive into Pittsburgh talk, I want to take you guys back to this past weekend on New Year's Day, and I want to get you guys' take on the Michigan and Alabama game, and the Washington and Texas game. And I want you not only to give your take on both games, but then I also want you to give us your prediction for the national championship. Hey Sean, why don't you go ahead and jump it off after Sean, Money Mitch, Titus, then Push, and then I'll go last.
that Bama Michigan game, that was the fair one, man. Michigan's line, their O line surprised me. Going against the SEC team, Bama usually has stout lines, the offense and defense. Um, I like the running game Michigan had. Their defense bowed up, and Milrow. I mean, I wasn't big on his passing game anyway, and they kind of proved that he was running a lot. Uh, that that Washington game, I like Penix's arm, man. His arm is nice. I like the way he plays, and they got a good team. So,
What's your take? What's your prediction between
ooh,
Michigan and Washington?
I'm going with Washington, man. I'm going with Penix.
Ooh,
I'm
really?
okay. Money Mitch.
Okay. Sean, you're gonna regret that. Go blue. I'm a Michigan fan.
Uh,
I'm a Michigan fan. I've been a Michigan fan my whole life. That's my mob. I told everybody we was gonna beat Bama. No one believed me.
You did.
So for me, it was like a grad. Like so, I was so grateful and sized. I'm still sized about it. As soon as you start talking about it, you see this look on my face. So as soon as you start talking about it, but Bama a strong team. But I knew we can beat them. The Washington Texas game was great. That was a
Great.
great game. I feel like Texas made some mistakes early to kind of put them behind the eight ball a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like they could score with Washington, but Penix was on the money though.
mhm.
But I'm biased because I'm a Michigan fan. But I like us 31-27. I don't even know if it get that high, but I feel like we're gonna be able to run the football on them. When you can run the football, Penix gonna be on the sideline watching.
Okay, Titus.
So my thoughts were, it felt like and I'm speaking of the Texas-Michigan game, it felt like a Big Ten game.
You mean Texas?
I'm sorry,
Texas and
Texas and Alabama. It felt like a Big Ten game.
Texas and Washington.
No, sorry, Alabama and Michigan. That's what
Michigan.
I'm
Okay.
Okay.
It felt like an old Big Ten game. There wasn't a whole lot of passing. Jalen Milroe had less than 200 yards total offense. It was a fight in the trenches. I was actually surprised that Michigan was able to come back in the fourth quarter and pull this game out, honestly. But we also saw the limitations of Alabama's offense with Milroe and the receiving core. The receiving core is not like it used to be in years past, where they were producing first-round picks after first-round pick. Milroe, his level of play has increased throughout the season, but he met a defense that was a little bit too much for him, and it showed in that game. But he has a promising, bright future, and I'm looking forward to seeing him next year. Let's get on to Washington and Texas. Washington, if y'all go back to some of my Titus takes, I talk about Michael Penix needing to be a Steeler next year. I've been saying it for about 7 weeks. I stand on that. He is a cannon. If Michael Penix was right-handed, right, the conversation about him would be a lot different. It just looks weird coming out of his hands because he's left-handed, sort of like Tua.
Mike
But
Vick.
Mike Vick, right? But Michael Penix is that dude, right? And the defensive line for Washington came to play ball, right? They kept those boys in the game, and you couple that with the fact that Washington is the best receiving core in college football.
Yeah.
With that quarterback, people will look back now and say that Michael Penix should have won the Heisman after this game, right? If you put his body to work together, especially what he's going to do in the national championship game to Michigan, right? So you're getting my pick right now. I'm rolling with the Huskies, right? I think it's going to be a shootout, but I'm rolling with the Huskies.
Push.
Well, Titus done took everything I was about to say, but anyway, with the Alabama-Michigan game, man, I felt like Milrose, he was playing okay, but he stuttered a little bit, and the offense slowed down a little bit. I felt like Michigan was more of a physical team than Alabama at this point in time right now in the playoffs, man. And I feel like Blake Corum, man, is going to be the difference maker in the championship game. And I think he has a chip on his shoulder. I feel like he's going to do big things in the championship game. All right, I didn't get to watch much of the Washington Texas game because I was asleep. I'm sorry, fellas.
We know, Grandpa.
But the highlights, you know, I work early, bro. But the highlights that I saw Penix lighting it up, and like what Titus said, the defensive line, they was doing their thing, bro. I really didn't get to see much of that game, bro. But I watched the Alabama-Michigan game, and I felt like Michigan overpowered them, bro, basically.
Who's your pick?
Oh, and the chip? Michigan, bro. Go blue. Shout out to Nikhil, Lydia, CJ. Let's go Michigan. Let's go blue.
Yeah, push.
So here's my take. Michigan and Alabama. I was surprised. I expected Michigan to come out and be physical because if you think back to the Big Ten championship, the one thing Michigan, or before the Big Ten championship, which was the game between Michigan and Ohio State, Michigan has prided themselves on being the most physical team on the field. And it has carried over. And they were, I think, they were more aggressive than Alabama, and Alabama did not seem as aggressive as they usually are. Like they didn't walk on the field and it was like, we're the kings of the SEC and we belong here. Then I feel like it was a little bit of karma as well because I still feel like Florida State got robbed. Man, who knows? But one thing I'll say is this. The Blake Corum is who beat Alabama. And I kept telling my dad during the game, they need to stop letting JJ throw the ball because he's not winning the game for them. He's actually looking like a liability. Give it to Blake in overtime. Right? when you look at that, they dominated the game. I go to Washington and I go to Texas. You're right. Texas made mistakes early on. Washington capitalized. Washington didn't start making mistakes till in the fourth quarter. That's
Mhm.
when Texas was able to rebound, regroup, and able to gain some traction and come back. Trice, the defensive line of Washington, played so much more aggressive in the first half. It seemed like they started to wear down as the game went on. My only thing is this. Titus touched on it in his points. In football, we all know that the game is won in the trenches. It's the O line and the D line. Your game is predicated on who is going to who's winning that battle, right? So when I look at what I've seen from Michigan last week, do I think that same physicality from Michigan will show up this week? When I look at Washington, I feel like Washington is used to finesse teams. I don't know if Washington really
Played.
can play against the physicality that
I don't
Michigan
think they that
brings.
physical either, man.
With that being said, though, I don't think that Michigan's defense can do enough to stop Michael Penix because we do got to remember that this is a top 5 scoring offense in all of college football. So they're like that for a reason. When you got Oduzzi back there, and even though they lost their running back last week, I still think that they're just too dynamic offensively that they could put up points and afford for their defense to kind of have some lapses late in the game. So my apologies, Push and Mitch, but I'm going Washington. I'm going with Michael Penix Jr.
Hey, defense win chips,
Oh,
baby.
Defense
Defense
always
win
wins.
chips.
The trench is going to determine the game.
Defense winning
I
chips,
feel
bro.
like on both ends, the trench is going to determine the game.
Who's
If
gonna
Hey,
be more
hey,
physical, man?
hey, for those who saying Washington hasn't played a physical team, didn't watch them play Oregon.
I
That is a
watched that.
physical team.
hold on,
We
hey,
watched it, but they were more finesse though. Like
yeah,
Oregon,
but
I
Oregon,
don't think Oregon's a
they
physical
not
team,
us.
bro.
yeah.
They're not Michigan.
They're not that physical. They were the most physical team they faced that up until that point. But when I'm talking physical, I'm talking about you know how we talk. We talking about get
We
down
talking
and dirty.
about
Like
yeah.
like we got thumpers from all over the field that's coming to make it hit. We ain't just it ain't just coming from the back end. But we'll see. That's 3 for Washington. That's 2 for Michigan. I'll make sure I play this back so whoever lost, we'll eat our words, they'll eat their words, etc., etc. But let's go ahead and transition to the Steelers. Before we get in this week's game, was George Pickens snubbed from the Pro Bowl? Yes or no?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I'm gonna say no because your attitude reflects everything, bro. You got to be the total player. You got to be the team player, even when you frustrated, bro. I think that's probably what snubbed him from getting it, bro. Not his play. His play, yes. His off the field shit. Excuse me. His
Yes.
off the field stuff. His off the field stuff. I felt like took him out of the Pro Bowl.
All right. Go ahead, Money Mitch, and then Titus, then Sean.
Um, I agree with Push for the most part. I don't think he got snubbed. And if you look at the 4 guys who went, I don't think you can put him over those guys. Like we just, what the Pro Bowl is. That's a regular season award and what they've done over the entire body of the season. And
Mm-hmm.
because I play on offense, I couldn't possibly put him over any of those guys.
Do you contribute his play on offense, even when he doesn't have the ball, as also a reason? Of course, something that Push kind of alluded to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I would say
yeah.
that would be part of it. I believe it's part of it.
Okay, Titus. You're on mute. We can't
Muted.
hear you.
He didn't finish in the top 4 in receiving yards in the AFC. So we're going to use stats as a baseline. In addition to what Push said, is the total person, total player package. I don't think he was snubbed. I feel like if he had competent quarterback play all year and a better attitude, he'd be the number 2 vote getter in the AFC. But he didn't
Bro,
have those this year.
True that.
he would if he had a quarterback, we wouldn't have seen none of that, bro.
Nah, we wouldn't
Like
have.
if he would have if he would have played with Ben, we probably wouldn't have saw none of that, bro.
But
You know what I'm
but
saying?
I'm gonna come back to what you just said, Push. And before I go to you, Sean, Push, for clarity. When you said if we had a better QB, are you saying we wouldn't have had the immature behavior that we've seen on field?
I feel like Ben would have gotten him the ball, right? That's what
Okay.
basically
Okay, I'm
all
glad
this
you said.
behavior is from, is
Okay.
getting the ball, bro. Being
Okay.
frustrated, he's not getting the ball. You know
Okay,
what I'm
I'm
saying?
sorry, Sean. Sean, before you give your take, we just going to go ahead and jump into that real quick. So, to me, it sounds like an excuse, though, right? Because you're making an excuse for one person's actions because the way that the adversity is happening on the field. I thought when we played, we dare not show the lack of camaraderie with the rest of our teammates in the midst of a battle, right? There's no way, Push, that you're running the ball and I'm out on the end and I'm blocking for you, and I just give up on the block for whatever sorry excuse reason I
Right.
give you. I feel that regardless, you can't give him the ball all the time. Every great receiver wants the ball, and that's okay. And we love his fight. We love his fire. We love the way he compete. But at the end of the day, we can't excuse personality and characteristics and immaturity for a reason of just because he didn't get the ball.
No,
So
we not.
what happens
We're not
when
excusing that.
what happens when true adversity hits? So what excuse do we give at that moment? What if we wasn't winning? If we wasn't winning, oh my
I mean,
God, we see how he's
it
acting
would
on
have
the
been
field.
it would have been way worse.
Yeah.
It'll be way worse, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse for him to be acting like that. I'm just saying I'm just guessing.
That's the
You know, that's the reason why. I'm not saying it's an excuse for him.
But
You know what I'm saying?
that would be a piss poor reason, in my opinion, for an adult to act like that because they're frustrated because they're not getting the ball. We see
Why
it from
you think he
AJ
acted
Brown.
like that?
We see it from AJ Brown, and he got a quarterback getting him the ball.
Look, it's that wide receiver mentality,
They
bro. We all
divas.
know, bro.
They're divas. Go
Yeah.
ahead and say
You
the
know?
D word. They're divas.
You know,
I'm sorry,
you know.
Sean. I'm sorry, Sean. You go ahead, bro.
Fizzle, go ahead, Fizzle.
About him being snubbed, I don't think he was snubbed. I mean, it's like Titus said, going to the stats. Like, I mean, I know he has 1,000 yards, but he only got like 5 touchdowns, and his play, I mean, it was inconsistent. But again, that goes back to what Henry said with the quarterback. You know, they weren't feeding him like they should have. So, but yeah, I don't think he was snubbed.
Titus, what's your take? I see you. It looked like you got something brewing up over there. Go ahead. What you got, Titus?
Listen, the man had 63 catches, right? Let's put this in perspective.
That's not enough.
That's not a lot, bro.
Michael Pittman had 104 catches, right? He ain't make the Pro Bowl, right? Devontae Adams, 98 catches. Stephon Diggs, 100 catches. We're talking about big dogs, right? With Stephon Diggs and Devontae Adams. No Pro Bowl. A couple less yards than George Pickens. But come on now, like, let's be real here.
I mean, but let's Pro Bowl a popularity contest too. That's not necessarily the best players go to the Pro Bowl, so we got to keep that in mind.
So can I ask you a question?
Keep that in mind.
Since we're talking about Pro Bowl right now,
go ahead.
Should Patrick Mahomes make the Pro Bowl this year over Josh Allen?
No.
Nah.
He's having a down year. He's having a down year.
Actually, I say yes. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Even though Patrick, like, let's really put this into perspective. If we're going to say that George Pickens, if he had a better QB play, then he would be so better off. Then we can't omit the fact that Kansas City don't have no wide receivers like that he can rely on and get the ball to, but yet he's still performing and they're still going to the playoffs, which means they're still winning. He's still finding ways to win, even with the inconsistency. They lead the league in drops.
Yeah,
right.
I was getting to that.
If we're going to omit the fact that on George Pickens' part that he needs better QB play, then we at least got to look over here and say, well, how can we omit Patrick when he doesn't have a Stephon Diggs? He doesn't have a Gabe. He doesn't have the tight end that he has. He doesn't have those. He just got Kelsey.
And he's got a Johnson. He don't got nothing.
Hold on. So, but you right, Pitts. But let me say this: Josh Allen leads the league in touchdowns,
and he's also second and third in turnovers.
But he did everything. You know what I'm saying?
He's
He
fumbling and he's throwing interceptions.
You do, but he got 42 touchdowns, bro.
And what's their record?
Were they 10-6?
Did y'all know that Stephon Diggs just went over 1,000-yard mark like a game or two ago?
Yeah, because he been spreading the ball. He been spreading the ball to everybody.
Nobody was over 1,000 yards though 2 weeks ago.
Nah, nobody. Nah.
So what is that? So are we? Is it yardage or is it touchdowns?
It's both. He got both though. He heavy in yardage and touchdowns. You see
And interceptions.
And interceptions.
Don't leave that part out.
I'm not.
Go ahead, Puss.
Always been a turnover.
Yeah, exactly.
We not gonna give Mahomes a pass, right? He's the quarterback. What I'm gonna say with what you said, Pitts, Brady did it. Hey, we comparing him to Brady right now?
Brady's system was completely different, right? It was interchangeable.
No, we ain't giving no excuses, right? If right now we compare Mahomes to Brady, bro, he got to do the.
We ain't say Brady. We said
no. We comparing.
we said Josh.
No, but we was talking about Mahomes. I'm just now getting back to it. You know what I'm saying?
Like his receivers ain't catching the ball. Like Brady's receivers was at least catching the rock.
Brady was taking defensive backs and putting them at receiver, and they was catching better than
they was catching. But that goes to my point. He did it with nobodies though.
But they were catching it.
Mahomes got some pretty decent receivers, bro. They just dropping them, bro.
But they dropping
them.
Yeah, they
dropping.
Tony played better for them last year than he did this year. That's good.
All right, Titus, you had an agenda when you asked that question. Tell us why you asked us.
Well, so Mitch kind of brought some of it to the light. He said Josh Allen has 42 total touchdowns, 27 passing touchdowns, 15 rushing touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes has thrown 14 interceptions this year.
How many has Josh Allen thrown?
Josh Allen has thrown 16 interceptions, 16, right?
Yeah.
But my point of asking the question is, 2 weeks ago, right, there's some pundits on some other sports media networks touting Josh Allen as a potential NFL MVP. Do everybody remember that?
I heard that.
I saw it, but
I saw it and I couldn't go with it though.
Okay,
but we know what that's about.
Oh yeah,
of course.
But when you do lead the league in total touchdowns, right, and you only have two more interceptions than the Golden Child, right, and y'all have similar records. Buffalo and Kansas City record is similar.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Buffalo can be the number 2 seed if they beat Miami, which means they will be a higher seed.
Buffalo
better. Supposed to have been in performance is two different things, right?
Is Buffalo's team body of work, is Buffalo's offense better than the Kansas City Chiefs? Yes or no?
Why is it better?
Hold up, say that again. Say it again.
Is Buffalo Bills offense better? When I'm talking about across the board the players they have. I'm talking about from receivers to running backs to line to tight end to QB. Are they better than the Kansas City Chiefs? I say yes. On paper, they are better than the Kansas City Chiefs.
I think so. Yeah.
Right? So he should be doing these numbers.
Yeah, it's
kind of doing these numbers.
Hold on.
Okay.
The running backs, I give the edge to
who?
Kansas City all day.
How?
City.
What
they got more.
Pacheco better than Corey.
Pacheco, McKinnon.
What's Thomas?
Edwards-Helaire and Pacheco.
That's two. What is one of Tomlin's best phrase? Your best availability. Your ability is your availability, right?
Yeah.
Availability.
Neither one of those running backs been available like that this year. They hurt. They've been hurt.
He was hurt.
Hey, hold on. James Cook just started popping 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and that's cool. But I said across the board.
Hey, he has been balling though, bro.
Okay, so running backs go to Kansas City, right? Running backs go to Kansas City, right?
Right. Wide receivers go to Buffalo. Tight end go to
Buffalo, right?
Yep.
Tight end goes to Kelsey, right?
I
say offensive line goes to Buffalo.
I must That's tight. That's tight.
Nah,
That's a tight one right there.
go with him. I'm
That's
gonna
a
go
tight
with.
one right
I'm gonna go
there,
with Pitts
bro.
on that one.
How
I'm gonna
not?
go with
How
Pitts.
sway?
Bro,
I'm gonna go with Pitts on the
just
O line, bro.
where I'm trying to go with this. Could somebody look up the what am I looking for? Sacks? The sacks.
Oh,
I got
we
you.
know.
Mahomes.
Oh, Titus got all of that. That's why he
Yeah,
asked us
look
this
it
setup
look
ass
it up for me
question.
real quick before I speak.
Titus, let me tell you how Titus just tricked us on our own show, Push, and you didn't even
What?
catch it. I don't like what
What?
he did. We're gonna talk about this behind the scene. Titus threw a question out of stats that he knew we weren't prepared for, and that he
No,
knew he had
I
to
was
take
prepared
us.
for it because Mitch mentioned it right away.
But go
Man,
ahead, tell us
I
the
just
stats.
so who got more sacks, Titus? Is it Mahomes or Allen?
I'm looking for it right now. Hold on.
I thought it would probably be Allen.
Allen. I think it
Yeah.
would be Allen.
But why would it be Allen? Is it because Allen moves the pocket more? He's trying to run more.
They both the same type of
He hold the
QB,
But
bro.
he
ball.
moved the
He
pocket
hold
more.
the ball more.
Allen will run.
Mahomes tries to stay. Mahomes tried to prove a point and stay in the pocket more than he's trying to escape.
But he moved
He
the
ain't trying to move the pocket.
I agree with you on that. He's running less. I agree with you on that.
He ain't really moving it. He ain't trying to run out the pocket no more.
I don't know. I think he's gonna lay it on the line if he got to, but he
He'll lay
hasn't
it on the line. But Josh
Yeah.
Allen is out there trying to prove that I'm Lamar-esque and I got the best arm. I feel like
Ain't
every time
nobody
he run the ball,
Lamar-esque.
he's trying to prove he's better than Lamar because that's all they compare him to.
Ain't nobody like Lamar, bro. One of one. One of one.
So while Titus is looking for that setup question stats that he just asked us,
You know how I feel about Lamar, bro. I'm pissed at the
all day
Steelers.
long.
I'm pissed at the Steelers. We let Lamar Jackson go, bro.
What are
Yeah.
y'all thoughts about? What are y'all thoughts about the last game we just had about the offensive production? Was that still riding a high wave, or is that something? Is that a trend that we can get used to? Go ahead, Push.
I feel like we're getting back on track, and they're starting to set the tone with the running game again, right? Right. We got. I feel like Najee or Jalen won't be good without each other. I think they need each other, right? I think they feed off each other. They use each other as motivation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they balance out the offense, man, and I feel like we should be pounding it just like that because them guys is in a rhythm right now. Stick with what's working, shoot at the Pickens, run the ball with Najee and Jalen, and try to get what's the name more involved. What's my slot guy?
Deontay.
Yeah,
Calvin
we got to
Austin.
get him involved more, man. We got to get
What'd you say?
Johnson involved more, bro.
Oh, Johnson, my bad.
Go ahead,
Johnson.
Mitch.
I agree with Push. I like the balance. The balance is great. That's what's getting us going is having the run pass balance and Mason being efficient. It's perfect for us to have teams off balance defending us. So being able to run the football, even if the yard's not there, the threat of it, you know what I'm saying, opens up other things. I think Push right about getting Deontay the ball because Deontay's always open. He always open. I don't care what route he run, he open.
Yeah.
But the threat of him I like how they using him and Pickens right now. You know what I mean? Pickens been getting stuff over the top, and every time they start backing off, all that underneath right there, Deontay can work with all that open space. Him and Jalen Warren, and we gotta remember, Fairmouth ain't really got off since that Cincinnati game.
Right.
This could potentially be that week.
Hey, Jalen Warren, our third leading receiver. I just
Exactly.
Yeah, he got
that's
like
crazy.
6 receiving or something.
Like 3. Hold on, I got it right here. Hold on. What is it? What he got?
Like 600.
Warren got
like
receiving. He got 353.
Oh, it's 350. Oh, I don't know.
Go ahead, Titus.
353.
Real quick,
56 receptions. But go ahead, Titus.
Kansas City and Buffalo's offensive lines have surrendered the fewest amount of sacks in the NFL this year. Buffalo gave up 21, and Kansas City's given up 27.
27.
Oh, so that gives the edge to Buffalo.
Yeah, there's the Buffalo. The line.
Is the Buffalo.
And think about this too, and we're not going to stay there long. But the fact that Buffalo got fewer sacks and Josh Allen moves the pocket a lot more, where he's more of a moving target that's acceptable to a sack. Like I just feel like they yeah. But Titus, go ahead, give us your takes, bro.
But take him down though. But go ahead.
So about the Steelers game, did y'all notice? We ran the ball extremely well, but did y'all notice why?
Yeah, it was the scheme.
We had the tight ends. We use a lot of bunch tight ends.
They were more with
12
it.
personnel.
It was downhill running. There
Yeah,
was a whole lot of downhill running.
and
But
it was
what was the defense doing to allow that to happen?
Seemed like
What
they
was the
played a lot
defense
of.
doing?
There wasn't 8 men in the box,
There was no 8 in the box. They was
right?
leaving it
It's
like
This is
mostly
the
6
first
or 7.
time that
what
these
was it?
two
Cover
games.
two, mostly cover two.
Yeah, this is the first time, right, in several games. Remember, Kenny Pickett, they daring us to throw, right? They stuck him in the box, right? No one knew what Mason can really do, so they were paying Mason the same way, and he was making them pay. Well, the reason why we didn't have as many explosive plays in the passing game is because there weren't 8 men in the box anymore, right? And we ran it down their throat, and we took what they gave us, and Mason did what Mason needed to do to make us successful. But Jalen Warren and Najee Harris at offensive line, them Titans dominated the line of scrimmage, and because there wasn't an 8 person in the box that they had to run up against. So kudos to the offensive line. Kudos for Mason's previous performance, along with George Pickens, to set the game plan in motion for Seattle not to come prepared with 8 in the box. They want to get beat on the outside because they will get beat on the outside. So that's my
Yeah.
thoughts. The
Sean.
scheme.
Go ahead, Sean.
I'm saying the scheme with the offensive line is a little bit more aggressive. It seems like more like downhill power running as opposed to like some of that zone stuff. Like the zone stuff that don't fit Najee for one, and also it seems the line didn't have that cohesiveness to run some of the zone stuff. So I think when they attack, they're better off because Sam Matu, he's a good attack blocker. Dan Moore, even though never mind, he's a good run blocker. I think the line, they were more downhill. Also, like you said, Titus, Mason being able to hit the throws, like hit the
Yeah,
easy,
Mason was
like
on, bro.
yeah, he's accurate. I mean, it's stuff that you see Kenny not doing. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, that's an easy throw, but Mason is making it. Just for instance, that 86-yard slant, that was a slant. He hit Pickens on the money. So and also it looks like some of the concepts on some of their passing concepts or just a little bit better in terms of some of the routes. Like I saw a route where they had somebody underneath and then somebody go over. I forgot what game it was. But it made the corner and the safety have to make a decision. So the man over top was open.
Yeah.
Some of the route trees or they're changing it up a little bit, but also just making sure you're getting it out to the receiver. And I like how Mason steps up in the pocket as opposed to, again, I said that last week, that little spin twirly thing that you make. Step up in the pocket, hang in the pocket, and make the throw. And I think that gives the line more confidence because they're like, all right, we know dude is just gonna sit back there and wait for us and have that confidence in us.
They
Hey,
sell
that's
credit.
what he been doing since college, though, man. I don't know why he got started off shaky with Mason. You know what I'm saying? But bro, in college, he was the man, bro. I mean, man, bro.
I watched the games when he carved Pitt up for like 1,000 yards in 2 games. Yeah,
Bro, that was crazy.
What you say, Mitch?
I said he was slanging it at Oklahoma State when he was in college on Mason.
To our old receiver, what's Washington?
James Washington.
Yeah, James, man, that was my guy.
He used to go bombs away on everybody. So when he came in, I thought he was going to be better than what he was.
Tell me your thoughts on this one particular play, right? Third down. Mason standing in the pocket. He pump fakes it. He pulls it back down. He's standing straight up. He has no way to step into the throw.
Oh,
The line is collapsing in his pocket, and he literally is all arm strength to catch the George Pickens. Does that show the difference in arm strengths when it comes to the arm strength versus Kenny versus Mason?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. He was flat-footed and made that pass. Even though I
Going
wasn't
backwards.
that he did that, because I know he got a hell of an arm. But damn, like the lineman was right there. He just like, I was like, what the? He still got the ball where it needed. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Titus?
I love what you said about arm strength. The other part of it is courage, right?
Yeah.
Because he could have fell back like a lot of other people do, like
Mhm.
Kenny does, right? And try to make that throw. He had the courage along with the arm strength to sit there and like take the hit, let the ball go, and put it there for George to make an unbelievable catch. That's the other part of that. Like, yeah, he had courage.
Push.
I would have to say, all right, if you think about it, Mason really built for the long ball game, for the power throws coming from Oklahoma State where he at now, right? If you think about Kenny, he came from Pitt. It was more of a run-in, dink dunk. So Mason has a little bit more moxie or experience when it comes to that. I feel like that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Mason has more experience with the long ball.
Sean?
So,
I mean, I also think it goes back to what Titus said with confidence. But I think, he's been in the system, so he knows the system better than Kenny. So that confidence in those plays, like, all right, I know this is the route. I'm going to hang in there, and confidence in his arm as well, and I'm going to let it go, when it's time to let it go.
You guys, am I reading too much into it? But was our offensive line just bad with Kenny Pickett? And like, is there like, because we're seeing two different offensive
teams.
productions from the same guys minus the one under center. Was our offensive line just having issues, or was it
Nah.
Kenny?
I
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I think a couple of things play into that. Okay, for one of them, like I was saying earlier, Sully not getting enough credit for how he's calling these games. Also, on top of that, because he's caught like Titus said about the run game, we was calling a whole bunch of zone runs, and that shit just was not for us. Sorry, that just wasn't for us. I feel like the downhill runs is what's making our offensive line look better, and it's balanced to the game. I'm talking about throughout the play calling. It's
Right.
balanced throughout the game, so you seeing a better result from the O line. That's what I think personally. I don't think Dan Moore is bad as everybody think he is, bro. I think he better than
Pass
Chooks.
blocking he's trash.
I think he better than Chooks. That's why Chooks on the sideline watching. But I ain't saying we don't need to upgrade them, but I think they better. I think the play calling got a lot to do with it.
Go ahead, Sean.
I definitely think the play calling is more aggressive. I agree with you on that one. But in terms of the offensive line, I mean, I don't think it's like they still not great. Like Mason Cole's still a bum. Like you can still beast Mason Cole. Like
Thank you for saying that.
I don't think nobody's bringing pressure up the middle right now. Because you bring that pressure up the middle, he gonna get beasted. You gonna see him on his backside again. But I do think it's kind of both. It's Kenny, and I think it's some of the schemes. Like we said, they're doing less zone and doing more attacking as opposed to catching. So that's what that's what I feel with the offensive line.
We all play football, right? Terrence, you played running back. Sean, you played a little bit running back. I don't know, Mitch, if you played.
I played.
But when you running that ball, right, and you in a zone, and you as the running back, you give somebody the illest stiff arm, he fall back, you get up, your whole team going crazy. Your O-line going to want to keep doing that for you. I feel like the running game is setting the tone for the O-line. The O-line is setting the tone for the passing game, bro. All that stuff works as one, bro. The run game sets the tone for the team. That's the attitude, right, bro? That's the attitude right there. Downhill, smash mouth. Feel me? Get Najee downhill. You can hit Jalen Warren with the cutback. He a little bit more shiftier back. right? We got balance there, bro, and that's and I feel like Jalen is bringing some type of passion to the team, bro. That boy different, bro, and it's resonating through the team. I feel like his play is resonating through the whole team, bro. You feel me? That's my take on it.
You ever watch the reaction of the linemen after Jalen Warren or Najee stiff arm somebody and watch
they
their head
hype.
bounce off the ground,
They
right?
hype.
Hype,
They talking
right?
trash.
That goes to what Push is saying, right? Is that seeing that energy come from them backs is bleeding into that line and they getting even more aggressive. The play calling, though, right? And this wasn't last week's game, the week before. 3rd and 1, we took that bomb, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
We
to
would have
Pickens.
called that play 6 weeks ago on 3rd and
Right.
1 in that situation. We would have handed the ball up the middle, threw a little screen, bubble tunnel screen or something. We wouldn't have been aggressive like that, right? So that aggression in the lines play, the running backs play, and that play calling, we are throwing the ball down the field with reckless abandonment. Y'all see, last thing, did y'all see the Mike Tomlin mic'd up on the sideline? Y'all see what he
Rhythm.
said? Stay aggressive, be aggressive.
Stay aggressive.
They doing
Rhythm and flow.
that's what it's all about right now.
Bro, we ain't got nothing to lose, fam. Why not?
The tempo sounded a whole lot different on that sideline, didn't it? Though.
Yeah.
Yep.
The energy was different. I'm talking about from everybody, from the coaches, from the players. The energy was completely different. I really feel like it got a lot to do with Sully. I'm gonna give with Faulkner. I'm gonna give him some credit too. They changed some stuff up to make some stuff work, man. And
So let me ask y'all this, and Titus, it kind of goes to something you just said, the play calling, right? We noticed that ever since Mason got in the game, that we're stretching the field out a lot more. Versus when Kenny was in, we were really doing a lot of short to intermediate, medium passes. We
What I
really
say,
did not.
Pitt.
Right, we really did not have any downfield attacks, throws. Like it didn't even look like there was designs to go downfield. Everything was dragging, crossing the middle, the outs, the hooks, the slants, the flats, whatever.
Screens.
But Titus, you made a statement. You said, on that 3rd and 1, I firmly believe in my heart of hearts that even if we called that play with Kenny Pickett out there, Kenny Pickett never looks to that route. He dumps it down to the running back immediately. It seems
Agreed.
like, in my
Check down
observation
Charlie.
between Kenny and Mason is this, and I said this on the last show. Mason reads every route. He understands what he sees. He understands the defense that's in front of him. Not only is not being a quarterback doesn't mean that you only understand the defense. You also got to know those non-variables, those things that you didn't account for, right? Kenny don't give me that. Kenny never gave me that. And in his inability, in my opinion, to see the field, I don't think he knows how to read defenses. I don't think he understands what's in front of him. So when you have those variables and you're also not confident because you know your team ain't confident because they ain't even letting you take shots downfield, you automatically dump it down. Like you look for one route, and when that one route's not there, you just dump it down to a running back, even if he is 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I just
What year
think
is
it's
Kenny?
more
What year is Kenny? This is 4th year,
the
right?
second.
3rd?
This is
Second?
second. It
With
seemed like
Mason?
he's been with us
Mason.
that long.
How long Mason been with us? Mason been with us for
Mason been
like
here for about 5 or 6.
5 seasons. Okay. Yeah.
All 5.
So all right.
Remember
Before we move on, I wanted to ask y'all this before I lose my train of thought.
he was supposed to be the most NFL ready QB. You know what I mean? That's
Yep.
the big thing about him when they drafted him.
So here's my question to y'all, right? Say everything works out for us, we make the playoffs, right?
I know
Kenny's healthy. Kenny's healthy, right? Mason got us here, right? Who you starting?
Well, one.
Mason.
Well, who you want?
Mason.
You could tell us what order you want us to go, Push.
It don't matter, bro. Pitts, Mitch, Titus, Fizz.
If Mason finishes us off, right? Say we win tomorrow, Saturday, and say we do get a chance to go into the playoffs, right? and say Mason, we don't win, but he still plays a solid game.
Mhm.
That means, remember, Mason he's restricted. He's unrestricted at the end of this year. That means we're thinking about re-signing him, right? So I'm going with Mason, but Mitch has to go, and I've been a Mitch supporter way too long, and I
Me too.
understand he's not the answer. I thought he would give us
Why?
some light, but he drained us. I'm sorry, I
Why?
admit it. I was on the Mitch train. I never liked him from when he came out of North Carolina because I didn't like how he was drafted #2, and he only had 1 year of production at North Carolina. I was sulking about that because it was all color. Then he got traded. He went to Chicago. He stunk there. We picked him up. I just thought veteran-wise, he was a good pick for us. I swallow those words, pause, because I was wrong, right? But
That was
I'm
crazy.
saying bring Mason back, bring Kenny back. And I say
and
you
grab a young stud.
I say you have a QB competition. Let the best man win.
I still think we need to get somebody, bro. I still think we need a young dude.
I'm a fan of both of those ideas. Hold on. Before I even say something about the piss, I can't believe that you thought that. Oh my God. We talk too much football, and I know you too smart of a fan to say, "Oh my God, Mitchell."
No, bro, because I was the
hope.
same way. I was the same way on Trubisky, bro.
I had hope. I had hope.
Bro, when Trubisky when Trubisky was with Chicago, right?
Uh-huh.
His first year, man, that boy, man, he was doing some unbelievable stuff, man.
Hold on,
You know what
push.
I'm
Hold on,
saying?
push. All right, hey, push. I'm gonna push back on what you saying. I'm gonna give you something.
Bro, that's what I wanted to say. I mean, because I had hopes because of what I seen him do in Chicago and at North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Because
that year in Chicago,
yeah.
that team that was the #1 defense in the National Football League that year, and they was #1 in turnovers, and they was like #3 in rushing.
You're right.
That's why they were successful. He didn't have to do that much.
But he went to the Pro Bowl.
But remember when
he did.
But remember when the playoff game came and they played Philly? What happened?
He got murdered.
I think he still threw for like 200 or 300.
He went to the Pro Bowl. He went to the Pro Bowl.
He got busy, but they got
like
snapped.
13 points.
No. That's the game that the kicker kicked the ball off the upright. That's how they lost that game.
Yeah.
They didn't get blown out.
Hey, Titus, but the game was still like 17-16, some shit like that. Like it wasn't like the game was
some stuff. This is a television show. Some stuff.
My fault. but with the Pickett thing, I said on the earlier show that I wasn't off the I'm not throwing them under the bus. I'm not off of them, but I do think it do need to be a competition. I don't think they should just hand the keys to him. And I also feel like, to answer your earlier question about the playoff thing, if Mason takes us to the playoffs, Mason should be starting. There's no way. First of all, Tomlin ain't gonna do that. That's the first thing. Because if he was gonna do it, Kenny will be starting this week. So that's not even gonna happen. But if we're gonna answer the question, it gotta be Mason. There's no way you take the keys from him when the offense is playing at the best is played all year under him. You don't go backtrack. That's crazy. You see what I'm saying? I think it's a no-brainer, honestly.
Titus?
Absolutely start Mason, regardless of what happens this week. Unless he goes out and those 4 picks, you start Mason if we go to the playoffs, period. I dissent a little bit about bringing Kenny back next year. And this is my rationale. And I was a Kenny supporter. So just like y'all two, Pitts and Push were supporters, I'm a Pitt man when it comes to my fandom in college football. I had faith that Kenny Pickett would be a good franchise quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I no longer have that. I don't have that faith. So I don't think there needs to be a competition. I've seen everything I need to see at Kenny Pickett to know that he's not the Steelers franchise quarterback. But if we go get somebody else and Kenny Pickett is still on this roster, there is a particular portion of this fan base and media that's going to be clamoring for Kenny Pickett to get an opportunity still. That boat has sailed. Get him out of here. If we go get somebody, if we're gonna go get Michael Penix, or we're gonna go get one of these other guys out of the draft, Bo Nix, which I hope we don't get him. But
Oh my
if we
God,
go get one of these guys,
6.0.
Y'all like Bo?
no.
Hold on.
no.
I know we got to come back to that. Man. That's interesting.
Hey, yo,
What?
we're getting clowned in the comments by Raven. By Raven.
What they say?
We already beat them. What they clown?
Yeah, they already took the L.
Hey, look.
They already took the L.
Hey, look. shout out to Tease, Bowie State University. You know, that's our guy. All I'm 40 podcast. Listen, man.
Ask him what state record is against us this year.
Before I get to Tease, Shotty DJ Murphy said that Rudolph all day. She liked Kenny too, but Rudolph, he's a superior QB, and we agree. I think we all, collectively agree that we also think that Rudolph is the guy, regardless of what happens. But Tease says, lucky Saturday don't mean nothing to us Ravens, so y'all can have Saturday's sad day if our third stringers beat y'all. LOL. Why you gotta do that, Tease? We was just throwing each other love. You was throwing Fitz and Push love. We was throwing I'm 40 love, and now you want to come on the show live and throw dirt on us. This is why I won't like the Ravens.
Random question: who winning the MVP?
Lamar.
We all in agreement.
Lamar.
We all in agreement.
Question, you guys.
DMC.
So get out of here.
No.
DMC. That's all we got.
Christian McCaffrey. He said that's all we got. So let me ask y'all a question before we do predictions, right?
You okay, Harvey?
If we win Saturday, right, and say we're able to get into the playoffs, and say this week weather conditions may be a little bit messed up. I know it's going to be snow here in Pittsburgh, but I think it's going to be snow mixed with rain in Maryland. If we go out and we win that game, regardless, Tease, if it's third, second, or fourth stringers or not, we go out and win. We make it into the playoffs, and our defense is still playing playoff football. Is the Steelers a team to watch in the playoffs?
Absolutely.
Do you see who we draw? We draw
Kansas City.
We get Kansas City. We can knock them, right?
I would love
again.
So I'm still not fully confident in the defense, because I know the secondary. I mean, other than Peasy and Minka, I mean,
but they got us here.
Young Porter balling too.
I'm with Sean. I feel Sean with that one, bro.
Because
we're getting healthy too.
Levi Wallace is still hot cat dookie.
Man.
Peter is starting to get it as safety, but
hot cat dookie. That's the first.
Rubber be in the slot. They
but Sean, you don't think we can beat Kansas City right now the way they're constructed?
I mean, it's Mahomes.
Listen,
we just talked about the drops.
He's throwing a cat dookie.
He is it.
But it's playoff Mahomes though. We gotta remember that.
Yeah.
It's playoff Mahomes, bro.
Can we watch Kelsey? Do we have the line?
No, God.
We don't have a backer to watch.
No, but nobody does. Let's be honest. Nobody does.
You're right. That's what it's going to be. Nobody's going to be able to cover Kelsey.
But that's one person.
I think
that's one person. I'm comfortable with doubling Kelsey and playing one-on-one on the outsides.
That'd be the possibility. But Mahomes can scoot on you too.
And I'm trusting Highsmith and I'm trusting Watt, because we already heard how they got 27 sacks, right? And they I'm looking at Ogunjobi being the X factor, because let's be clear, Ogunjobi gives us some. He gives us some.
Yeah, he gives us some work, bro.
Come on, learn.
I can't stand Sean.
Once every 5 games, Ogunjobi might do something, man.
I can't stand Sean.
But what they paid for,
hold on, Sean. Hold on, Sean. I gotta ask you this, man. All right, so
what they paid for him, man, like, come on, dude.
but you gotta think about the defense we in. We in a 3-4. 3-4 ends are really basically just to stop the run.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they for.
Kobe, he be getting blown off the run.
No, you know who be getting blown up? You know who be getting blown up for real?
Cam?
Adams be getting blown up, and people be trying to act like it don't happen.
Why you trying to take a personal shot at me right there, Mitch?
Yeah,
because Mitch knows I said that if we re-sign anybody off the unrestricted list, I would sign him on Travius Adams.
Hey, that's what I said.
You petty daddy, bro.
Adams was all right last year, but now this year
getting pushed around because Benton is the guy.
He is, but remember he disappeared like the last few games, so he kind of disappeared from earlier. He had came on.
He was banged up though. He been kind of banged up the last like 2 or 3 weeks.
I was about to say he been hurt.
Yeah, he been banged up the last couple of weeks. His snaps even went down the last couple of weeks. And what happened to Leal? Why they stop playing Leal?
Definitely, he fell off. I don't know what happened.
What the hell happened? He just disappeared.
The doghouse or something.
What's your take, Titus?
Listen, these D linemen, and I hate to say this, right? Because he's a legend, he's a potential Hall of Famer, right? And y'all been dancing around and y'all ain't mentioned his name the entire time.
I said Cam been getting blown off the ball.
Y'all talking these defensive ends, and y'all just go ahead and just not even talk about Cam. Like Cam ain't even there. He out there, but he ain't out there right now. He's dealing with these injuries. And he ain't looking the same right now. And he made a comment about he has to reevaluate what's he going to do next year, if he's going to come back or not. So that's something we need to keep an eye on. Are we going to have Cam
past 2 seasons?
But what kind of Cam are we going to have? He old, right? He old. He getting beat up, and he's getting some work given to him this year. So let's not ignore it.
Can I ask all of y'all a question?
Go ahead, Mitch.
What's up?
If next season, or off season, the draft, if you had to draft a position, what position would it be?
First round.
Quarterback.
If there's a dope quarterback, I'm taking a quarterback.
Yeah, QB.
I'm taking a quarterback.
QB.
Quarterback.
Penix.
Quarterback.
Yes.
Penix.
QB. If we're not able to trade for Justin Fields prior to the draft,
I ain't happening, bro.
Hey, if they saying it's a 2nd round pick,
I wanted it to. If they trade Justin Fields, they stupid. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, hey, man, if we could get him, boy,
we get Justin, I'd be happy as hell. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh man, he'll fit perfect. He'll fit perfect, bro.
For me,
that's not the good way. They ain't gonna make that move.
I want a cornerback. That's what I actually
want. You want another corner?
We got Corey Trice coming back next year.
We got Trice. He was injured. He coming back, right?
All right. So
he is coming back.
Pitts, you know I'm a Big Ten dude, right? You know I'm a Big Ten dude, and Trice is like that. Don't get me wrong. I love him as a corner, but he injury prone.
Yeah,
he's injury prone. So that's why I say I want an elite corner. And
so his availability is a question.
Yeah, so it's some damn good ones that's coming out in this draft.
Yeah.
So are you saying that the Steelers need to be paying for 2 premium corners? Because in 3 years, we're going to have to pay Joey Porter Jr. So you're saying in 4 years, we're going to have to pay another dude we drafted in the 1st round to keep him there too. So that goes back to my argument of us putting all our money on defense. We can't pay 2 corners, 2 outside linebackers.
Hold on, Titus. This the up. I'm when I do draft, I always look at alternate positions. I don't just be like home fixing on one position. So for me, my other position is center. So that's my other position is center. Because
if we didn't go quarterback, I would rather go center first.
Why not?
I said if we don't draft quarterback first, then I would address center before I address defensive back.
I like Georgia, but Van Prawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it's about the board. It's about the board, how the board is going to fall. Like, we don't know how the board going to fall. Like, what if we get to our pick and the corner is the best pick on the board. You wouldn't take him?
What if Michael Penix or Jay Daniels just slid down the board and he had our number? Are we not taking them?
You gotta take.
They need to play on the board.
At what position? At what time does picking your needs versus picking the best player on the board? Like, where's the fine line right there?
You're not drafting a center in the first round. That's a fine line.
Yeah.
Is it?
Regardless.
Didn't we drive Pouncey in the first round?
He was different.
Yeah, we did. We did.
He was different.
He was a Hall of Famer.
It was late first round.
So let's go ahead, you guys. Let's go ahead because we done hit our hour mark. Let's go ahead and push. You want to do predictions?
I'm going with my Steelers boys, man. I'm gonna go 21-14. Steelers.
Okay, Mitch.
I like 27-14.
Okay, Titus.
27-24. Steelers.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Close.
Sean.
I'm going 16-13 still.
Classic.
It's still gonna be a dogfight. You know what I mean?
I'm going
Dog
20. I'm going Steelers 20-6.
Oh, okay.
I like that score. I really
I
I'm going-
like that.
I'm going Steelers 20-6.
I love that score. 6. The optimum point. I like that.
Dirty Birds is going down, baby.
They ain't dirty. They rats.
They
That's what
rat.
they birds look like. Rat birds.
Rat Birds going down.
So to all you Baltimore Raven fans that's been putting thumbs down, I see you. I'm gonna text you as soon as I get off. But understand this: when we went on Saturday, I don't care who you put out there. I'm still coming to talk to y'all because at the end of the day, the Steelers went 5-1 in our division. Period.
Let's go.
5-1 in our
Baltimore 6
division.
of the last 7.
So Ravens can't see us even when they do start their starters.
Hey,
Let's
we
keep it a buck.
And that Zay he don't start baking Levi Wallace, man. You know, Levi Wallace is out there, man. He be getting stir fried rice, man.
So
We do.
well, we appreciate you guys for joining us, man.
Great show,
Titus,
fellas.
if you can go ahead and give your social media, your Titus Takes information out there for folks to be able to follow you on.
Find me at Titus Takes, all one word. Titus Takes, IG, Twitter, and Snapchat and TikTok. You can find me everywhere.
Mitch.
Matt Full Sports Podcast on IG. I'm trying to branch out and do more things. I be also doing Steelers for 7. I'll be doing that
with Cav Easy.
Yeah, with Cav Easy.
I'll be on his show tomorrow night, I think.
Yeah, we going tomorrow night. You coming on tomorrow night?
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
Bet that. Yeah, that's what's up.
I got practice around a bit.
What you got, Push? You got anything for the folks before we leave off?
Have a happy new year, man. Y'all can follow us on Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and also at www.pittsandpush.com. You can also find my physical fitness page at Pushzilla, Instagram, Twitter. And that's all I got, bro.
Y'all can not only can y'all catch us on, live here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, but y'all can catch our audio versions on iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Everycast. We everywhere. We'll be back on Sunday as well, Push, because we got a couple guests coming in, right? We got Morgan State University's head coach.
We got 2 guests.
We're gonna be live at 5:30. Coach Damon Wilson. Shout out to Coach Wilson and Morgan State Bears. Then we got that specialty like father like son part 2. We got Rob Butler, and we got
AB.
Aaron Butler.
RB and AB.
Going to
Calavis High School.
Texas.
Hey,
let's go.
It's going down. So tune in. It's going to be live. It's going to be lit. Sunday. We're going to be together in the studio. So y'all going to see both of us at the same time. No split screen. Holla at your boys. We appreciate y'all for joining us. We thank you for the comments. We ask that you continue to comment, share, and support. We'll do the same back. It's your boys, Pitts and Push, Sports Talk
Sports
Radio,
Talk Radio.
going
We
down.
out.